Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is always nice to be one of the first guys to get a new set of toys. With today's age, like with people in Europe, people getting stuff overseas, with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right there, I think those days for me might be gone. Like, yes, it's nice to put up a review before like Shart or JC or Boog or Foosh, whatever, or some of the other channels that I watch. Whenever I can put up a review before them, it's like, God, that felt good. It was nice. But here's the thing, with all the Marvel Legends coming out and all the action figures coming out, I refuse to pay more than suggested than just regular retail. Like, I am not spending more than $19.99 on Marvel Legends until the price goes up to $25. Then I'll probably start spending $25. But until that day comes, I'm just not paying more. If I get them first, that's awesome. If I don't, well, it's just not gonna happen. When I see guys spending like 30 bucks on a Silver Surfer to get them 2 weeks before me, well, you go right ahead and do that, because that's money that you could probably save and put towards your toy room and the YouTube channels that I watch. I think a lot of you guys could use a little help in that department. So we're going to be checking out the Spider-Man wave today. We got Cloak. When they announced Cloak and Dagger, let me find Dagger. I was kind of excited and kind of bummed because I have the Marvel Selects. I thought they did a really good job on those. The Dagger, of course, is a little too big. We'll do a side-by-side comparison with those, check them out, see if we did need them or we didn't need them. And then you have Doc Ock, which they announced this. I was like, God, I kind of feel like I got some pretty decent Doc Ocks already. But just looking at this at a quick glance, I'm kind of thinking that this is the best one. Is it a costume that I already have? I'm pretty sure. We'll find out. If it's better than all the ones that I have, then it's kind of like not a total waste. House of M Spider-Man. Of course, there's going to be a Spider-Man in the Spider-Man wave. I kind of feel like we've got all the Spider-Mans except for the one in the Fantastic Four suit with the bag on its head and the bare feet. That's the one that I would really like to get. That's not what happened this time. We have a House of M. I already have a House of M. Is this an upgrade? Well, I think so. Most likely. But we'll find out later in the video. Then you have Elektra. And everybody's like, yes, Elektra. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to get Elektra. I have a ton of Elektras. Is this the best Elektra? Once again, probably. I'll pull out all the Elektras. I'm pretty sure I have all of them. And we'll find out. And then you have another Scarlet Spider. I definitely didn't feel as if we needed another Scarlet Spider. This one has the claws and the hands and a Peter Parker head. If you're wondering why it's the same head that I'm pretty sure we already got, it's because he's a clone. And what other else would they give him? I would have bought this anyways just for the claw and the hands. If they would have did like two the last time we got it, I don't even know if it's the same. I know we have them. Once again, we'll check that out. And then you have another Daredevil, and it's like the black suit Daredevil. This is something that I guess I'm happy to get. I do kind of want. If you're going to give me a black Daredevil, give me the Shadowlands Daredevil, not just the black suit Daredevil, because I guess that just gives them an opportunity to sell us another Daredevil. And I know that Mysterio isn't in the wave. My boy Brock just hooked me up with the variant white head. I already had the green head. This is the one that I actually wanted. I'm going to go ahead and keep the green head one too because I'm a sucker, and why not? I'll do a side-by-side comparison with this real quick in the video also. Let's get to cracking. Alright, so I got them all lined up, basically just for you can check the scale of it, and then we'll kind of go from there. You got Spider-Man down here about 6 inches tall, then you have Elektra slightly smaller at about 5 3/4. The Scarlet Spider just barely over 6 inches. Then you got Daredevil, same, basically they're kind of all the same. Then you have Dagger, just slightly under 6. Cloak, man, he's pretty tall, about 6.5. And then you have Doc Ock, which just I really like. He's about 5.5 inches tall. Really killed it on the scale on that one. I'm really glad that they made him shorter. That kind of makes him stand out in my collection. If he was like 6 inches tall, it would definitely kind of ruin it for me. And then you have the Build-A-Figure Spider, which is basically a character I would have never have asked for, but I'm really glad that I got. It's a robot with a girl inside, and I don't know where they get their character selection at. I could think of about 10 Build-A-Figures that I would rather have, but I'm always happy to get a new character in my collection, so I guess I'm just happy that I got it. So basically, going back in line, this is how they are in my order of favorite to least favorite. Spider, of course, the Build-A-Figure is by far my favorite. Then you have Doc Ock. They killed it on this one. I know a lot of people are complaining about no wire in the arms. I have a Doc Ock with wire in the arms already, so that doesn't really bum me out much. Then you have this Cloak. They could have just given me a cloak with no body underneath and made them an accessory for Dagger, but hey, they're not Diamond or Marvel Select. They're Marvel Legends Hasbro, so they don't get down like that. You're lucky that you even got the Dagger effect, to be honest. And then you have the black costume Daredevil, which I don't have a black costume Daredevil, so I guess I'm happy to have it. And then you have the Scarlet Spidey, and with this thing, basically, last time they made it, I was like, man, this thing would have been really cool if they would have put spikes in its hand. They must have read my mind and got my money twice, because now we got it. Then you have Elektra. I don't know, probably the best Elektra in my collection. We'll check them out when I do comparisons. Doesn't really excite me, but she does look really good. And then another Spider-Man. Yes, it's Halcyon Spider-Man. Of course, they had to do a Spider-Man. I wonder if we'll ever get that Fantastic Four one with the bag on the head. That would be really cool to put in my collection. Alright, so just in case you guys get bored, you don't feel like sticking around to the end of the video, I always do my favorite character first. Figure we'll eat the frosting right off the cupcake and get right into it. So here he is, it's a Spider, and I was thinking Spider. I'm pretty sure I've seen this figure before. And I'm pretty sure it's right here in the 5-inch form, which this thing was really cool back in the day. It's actually still pretty cool. I have the whole 5-inch collection. I normally don't pull those out. I don't really like comparing them with the 6-inch because that's just a totally different category. This one, the mask comes off. Spider-Man's underneath. Would have been cool if the mask would have came off on that one. And there was a girl's head underneath. Of course, I could probably put a girl's head on it. But then what do I do with the mask? I don't know. Would have been a nice touch. Apparently they didn't think that that would be a nice touch, so they didn't do it. Here he is. This thing is just freaking awesome. As far as articulation goes, I normally don't do that, but we will because it's a build him and he's kind of new. The ankle has like a weird pivot swivel thing. Actually works really well. Double knee, but he's got it kind of got like that backwards knee. This thing, good luck if you get this guy to stand up longer than a day and a half. You're definitely going to need one of these stands or whatever stand you use to put on this thing, or he will tip over and take out at least 10 figures on your shelf, and that's something that all of us collectors hate when we come home, especially when you try to keep your collection nice and clean and they come in, they're all standing. Definitely a nice touch. Then the hips, it's got like this weird ball thing on there, tons of cool movement there. It does have an ab crunch, really cool. I love how they did that. The shoulders are on a ball, plenty of movement there, pretty cool. When you go crazy on it and it falls off. On the elbow, just a double elbow, then the wrist, kind of a ball there. I think it's, yeah, you can get pretty much whatever you want out of there. The head is also on a ball, pretty cool. Definitely like this toy. It's going to stand out in my Spider-Man collection. Really glad that they did it. I mean, I would rather have like an A-Bomb or Grizzly or, I don't know. There's plenty of figures I would have rather had, but at least we got a new character. Alright, so this is why when they announced that they were making a new Doc Ock, I wasn't that excited. Because I was like, I got plenty of Doc Ocks. Do I have a Doc Ock this nice? No. Do I have a Doc Ock in this classic costume this nice? Absolutely not. But I got some pretty decent ones, but just not on that level. That's why he's my favorite figure in the set. Back here we have the Marvel Select, and for them an accessory is an action figure, and with Marvel Legends you're lucky if you get something like this as an accessory. I mean lucky, because most of the time you don't even get that. That's an accessory to them. Then you have this little guy here. They're all really small, like almost a little too small. I'm pretty sure that one has bendy wire in it. We'll get to him in a second. Then you got two movie ones. I mean, I thought he was great in the movie. I love the movie. The third one, that's kind of where they lost me. But the Doc Ock, I think they did a great job. Then you have one from the little cartoon show that just came out. I normally don't buy action figures from that line, but this Doc Ock I thought was pretty cool, and you can't ever have too many Doc Ocks. This one has this weird like pump mechanism on it. I think you like squeeze it or something and the arms move. It takes two hands. I only got one right now, so I don't know. I don't want to knock them all over. Then you go back here, you got one kind of in the classic costume with, once again, the cloth trench coat. That definitely looks pretty cool. Pretty sure that has bendy wire in it. And then another classic costume that probably has bendy wire. So there's lots of ones with bendy wire. So this one that doesn't have bendy wire, I actually think it looks pretty cool. Let's check him out. Alright, so just like Spider, this thing is all brand new from the ground up. And I'm really curious to see what they use this body on. There's only a couple characters that I can think of that they could actually use it on. Hopefully they do. It sucked for them to keep using the Bucky Cap mold. When you got cool molds like this, and there's still figures that you could do. As far as the tentacles go, they just plug in here. You can plug anyone and anywhere. I went ahead and put the long ones on the bottom. I'm going to put this guy on a stand and pretend, like in Pretend Action Figure Land, that he's actually walking on these two long tentacles. I figured that would be a pretty cool display. Have these two come up. It'd be nice if these things could actually hold a figure. I don't know if they will. I could try it. If I do get one in there, it would probably fall back out over time. As far as articulation goes, it is a new figure, but there's really nothing new here. Just real quick, the head is obviously on a ball. The shoulders are probably on a ball. I'm just going to guess here and say, what the heck. A bicep swivel, pretty cool. Double elbow, same wrist that you always get. The only thing that's really kind of stand out and cool here is the ab crunch. God, they killed it on that. Really good job. Works right around his big belly. I guess if I wanted to cosplay for Comic-Con, this would probably be a pretty good one for me. One of his tentacles fell out. They don't really stay in that good. Gluing these in might be an option, but I don't plan on moving around much, so maybe not. As far as the boots, this is my favorite articulation that they do. It doesn't really work on this one because you turn it and it kind of goes off. As far as the ankle pivot, they're always known for that. It does have the thigh cut. I could do without that. It's there either way. It actually kind of works almost on this one, but not really. As far as the thighs go, I think they did a really good job. The articulation on this figure looks really clean. They nailed it. Like, this is pretty much, I hate to say it, but so far Spider and this guy, pretty much perfect action figures. Look at the head sculpt on this. I just noticed how good it is. If you pick up the glasses, he's actually got sculpted eyes, real eyes in there. The glasses don't come off, and I definitely don't want to break that thing off. The head sculpt, God, they killed it. That's like the best hairdo ever. I'm bumping the camera a little bit. Sorry about that. They killed it on this. 2 for 2. Two perfect action figures. Let's get to the next one. It's got so this is the reason why I wasn't that excited when I saw Cloak and Dagger. Even though I'm really happy to have this Cloak and Dagger, but you come on. Marvel Select, the cloak, they absolutely killed it. I think this cloak blows this cloak completely out of the water. It has this like weird like little stand thing that fits inside of him. It's supposed to plug into her back. Doesn't really work that well. You can kind of get it to work, but she eventually falls, so I just kind of put her on a stand next to him. Here he is. Look at this cape. Like, this thing, God, that's just amazing. Like, it's so good. Like, I love it. Like, he blows this one away. This one, the cape, if you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see through it. It's kind of hard to show you with the camera. This one, the body, you could take the body off, still put the head on there. The body's just kind of like a freebie. But here's what I'm saying. Like, this is Marvel Select. This is Hasbro. This this cloak is basically her accessory. And look, like, they even copied the accessory. So they took the same idea, clipped it on the wrist, and they're like, tell you what, we're going to do the same exact thing that you guys did, except for we're not going to do it quite as good because this one has like cool airbrush and all kinds of cool stuff on it. And then this one is just like a cheap piece of plastic that they kind of threw in there. This one has a necklace. Yes, this figure is definitely a little dated, but at the time this thing was really cool. They basically have the same exact costume on. It's weird because when you turn it at the waist or the torso, the lines don't match, so that doesn't really work for me. But it's just like, this was an accessory, and it came with this accessory, and it was cheaper than these things at the time. And then this is the accessory. Enough about the old one. Let's check out the new one. Here's the dagger. Here's what I don't like about it, is when you turn it, the skin doesn't line up. I don't really know how else they could have did that. Maybe just one of those weird old school ab crunches where it just goes straight down and doesn't go side to side. But then everybody would complain about that. The head sculpt on this thing, I actually like it. I don't know if it's new or not. I know the hair is new. All these female faces, they're just starting to look the same to me. Like, it's hard to tell if, like, there's probably like 5 of them. They just repaint them. But they did do a good job. The lips look good. The eyes look good. Everything about it looks good. The accessory just clips on a wrist. You can clip it on either one. It's really no big deal. It doesn't look that good. I think it would have been better if they would have did like a bullseye thing where they give you an alternate hand to where the daggers are actually coming out of her hand. Instead of copying Marvel and Select, doing the same thing, but not as good. So here she is. The action figure itself is basically one that you already have with a new head and a weak accessory. Then you have Cloak. I actually really like him. Cloak is just such a cool character. The one behind him, man, that thing is, it's awesome. It's like 10 years old and still looks better than this one, at least in my opinion. This one, the cape, you can take it off, you can take the body out if you don't want that shadow. So this thing's kind of basically, I guess, their version of a freebie. Because if they would have just put this thing in the package like this, everybody would have a really hard time spending $20 on it. There you can kind of see the cape is like see-through. I don't know if the plastic's just really cheap and thin. That's why it's see-through. I'm not sure if they probably didn't do that on purpose. But this is really all you need for Cloak. The body's just kind of like a bonus freebie. Like, he looks, it's just black. Whatever. The Cloak is cool. The dagger's pretty cool. I mean, you got to get that build-a-piece, so I guess you got to get them both. And then we have this black suit Daredevil, and I wish they would have given us the Shadowland Daredevil. I would have been a lot more happy with that. I do like this thing. I'm glad that we got it. It's the first and only black costume Daredevil that I have. I passed on the Mezco one just because I kind of thought that was a slap in the face, thinking that that was supposed to be Shadowland Daredevil. It wasn't even close. So I tried to prove a point and pass on it. It's still sold out. So obviously I didn't prove a point on it. Put it on my wish list. Thought about getting it again. Never got it. And I'm kind of happy that I didn't. Especially now because I have this black suit. I almost said Spider-Man. This black suit Daredevil, which I think he's actually really cool. And I was thinking, great, it's the same exact figure that we already have, but now it's painted black, and I was 100% wrong on that. He does come with fisted hands, but if you do the fisted hands, you can't hold this really cool stick, mace, nunchucks, whatever you want to call it. This thing is a cool accessory for Marvel Legends. Like, this is them going the extra mile. This is them going all out. The sticks come off. They will fit in the pouch. It's basically the same exact pouch that you already have before. The belt looks the same. Here's where they shine. This is Marvel Legends shining, and I'm glad that it did. They got put new boots on it. They're definitely new for God, just too many deads. For Daredevil, I'm not sure if they're like 100% new. They could be like Cap's or Bucky's or somebody else's boots, but they put them on him and they look good. They also put wraps on the forearms and wraps on the gloves. So this definitely, it's new enough. Like, I'd just say like it's a whole new figure. Like, because it looks different from these. Now you got 3 different colors. I'm really digging it. I'm glad that they made it. Would I have rather had a different character? Of course I would, but I always would. I'm all about brand new characters. But when you give me a character that I already have in a totally different costume, I'm always happy to have it. And if you guys do happen to make a Shadowland, a real Shadowland Daredevil, I would actually love to have that. But I would rather have a new character. But I'll buy it, and I'm a sucker. Hey, maybe next time, just throwing it out there, maybe do a masked and unmasked head. But don't just repaint a Hawkeye head, like actually give us like a Matt Murdock head. I'm just saying, come on guys, we're spending 20 bucks on these things. Give us just a little bit more. Like, people are starting to think like $20 is cheap for an action figure. No, it's actually not, because it's like 150 bucks for a set. And you can't buy just one. You gotta buy them all. Then we have this Scarlet Spidey, and I pulled out the other Scarlet Spidey as a comparison, and I was thinking I was totally content with the old one, that I didn't need the new one. And when you put them side by side, like, this one isn't even that old, and it looks really dated next to this one. And if you're wondering why the head looks so familiar, that's because it's the Peter Parker head, which he's a clone, so it should be the same head. So I guess it's cool that it's a nice little bonus that they gave it to him. He's got like the zombie eyes. He's cool. Now the Scarlet Spider is definitely my favorite one. It makes me want to put this one all the way in the back of the shelf. The only reason why I would want to keep this thing is in my collection, which I haven't tried this off camera. This is the first test run. This one's too nice to put the clone head unmasked on. I don't feel like buying two. If this head will fit on this old one, then I don't even know if this thing comes off. How old is this thing? Man, I can't even get the head off. It should pop off. I don't want to break. Oh man, this is why I try not to do this on camera. It feels like it's gonna pop off, but like break off. Let me try this one. Yeah, that comes right off. This head goes right on, but I don't want to display them like this. I really want to get that head on this body. Put this one with the unmasked head because I really like this one. He looks much nicer. Plus he has the claw hands. I'm going to try it one more time. Not too hard. Because I really don't want to break this thing. But I know you guys are going to ask me in the comments if the head fits on there. And then I'm going to have to answer you guys one at a time. I can't get this head off. I mean, I thought they were doing interchangeable heads at this time, but maybe they weren't. Man, the neck is like on a weird angle. Everything. I can't get it off, guys, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and say that the unmasked head doesn't fit on this one. And now I might have to buy two of these because I don't want to break this one. And I really want to display one masked and unmasked. And I guess that'll give me a reason to use these stupid fist hands because, I don't know, these make no sense. Like, why would you use these when we've been waiting so long to get these really cool claws? And we finally got them. And now I think I need to buy another one. Hopefully I'll see one on clearance or something, but I probably won't. I gotta bite the bullet. There's a Scarlet Spidey. Let's take this head off because I'm definitely not going to display him like that. Is he better than the old one? Yes, light years. Way better. Like him way more. This one comes with the rock and roll spider hand and a fisted hand, and a claw hand. Man, I like everything about this so much more than this. It's when they do this, like, I wish I had a time machine and go back and not have bought this. Like, this is like when you go on eBay and you see tons of these things on eBay for like $5 because everybody just wants to get rid of it because this thing came out. I'm not going to waste my time. Plus, I like to have a complete collection. So that's not going to happen. Enough about Scarlet Spider. Then you have the Elektra collection. And when I saw that they were making another Elektra, I was like, God, do I really need another Elektra? And when you look at these things, you're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you guys do know better than me. I'm just kidding. There's no way that Hasbro knows better than me. But I kind of see their angle. This is the Diamond Select one. This is what they call an accessory, and this is what Marvel Legends calls an accessory. I mean, it is an accessory. You could get a castle with extra arms, extra weapons as an accessory, or you can get a Sai. I guess we should just be lucky and grateful that we even got a Sai. This thing, it looks horrible. This one, it's basically just this one with a different head and different hair, and yes, it also looks horrible. This one is the Skrull one. I actually think that one's really cool. Really glad that I got it. That thing, awesome. Then you have an old, really old, crappy Toy Biz one with the weird balls on the shoulder, which I cannot stand. That thing, I should just throw in the trash. But then my collection wouldn't be complete, so that will never happen. Then you have a repaint of this one in the white outfit. Pretty sure that thing came in a box set. I'm glad I got the white version, but whatever. Then of course you got the TV series one down here. I bought one. Whenever it comes with two heads, I try to get two. Plus I got this one on clearance for like $12, or so I wouldn't have got that because that's not, I really don't need an unmasked version of that, because basically the masked one is the only one that you want. Let's go ahead and check her out, and then we can see if we actually really did need a new one. Here she is up close. First off, the head sculpt on this thing, the face is amazing. Let's go ahead and look at one of these real quick. Just, yeah, like, whew, that is really bad. And then if you want to do a comparison with the training one, I guess we could get up the white one. Man, okay, you guys are right. I did need an update because all these other ones are pretty much basically garbage. The Marvel Select one's okay. That thing's kind of a statue. At least it comes with a cool castle. Here's a close-up look at the head sculpt, the face. God, I love those lips with that dark red glossy. They killed it on that. The little bandana hat thing is actually really cool. On the back of it, it's got a hole. Am I missing a part? I gotta be missing a part. I'm gonna look through the trash and see if I can't find that part, because why is there a hole? There's gotta be a knot or something. We'll check that out. Here she is. Now I'm really upset and I gotta look through the trash, and God, I'm glad I didn't take that out to the dumpster. Here's the size. I think they killed it on the size. Best size ever. The body, basically, we've seen that before. There's a few new parts. A little skirt, I'm pretty sure, is new. The size are new. The head is new. The hair looks new, and it has a hole. And I'm gonna see. All right, so I just got done looking through the trash, the toy room, and everywhere in between for about 30 minutes. And this thing was not in the package. So that sucks because I got these online. So now I have to wait till they come to the stores, buy one, exchange it, return it, and that really sucks. She's supposed to have a ribbon, something similar to this one. Man, that just sucks. I hate when that happens. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. Marvel Legends, come on, man. Step up the quality control a little bit. I need a ribbon. All right, so here's this House of M Spider-Man with the old House of M Spider-Man. And I didn't realize how horrible this thing was looking, but he does have a really cool light up feature. His eyes light up red, basically. His whole head turns red. And he shoots this little web thing. Man, just next to this new one, just, I mean, I didn't really think we needed a House of M Spider-Man. I definitely didn't think we needed an updated version of House of M Spider-Man. But he does look cool. It's House of M Spider-Man. The costume, this thing, all sculpted in lines. This thing's just a cheap repaint. So one looks better than the other. You get what I'm saying. This thing does come with an accessory, a really cool, awesome accessory, a web. He just doesn't come with a hand to hold it. He's got his rock and roll Spider-Man web shooting hand and then a fisted hand and not really a hand to hold it. You can slide it over either hand. I guess you could probably use it on a different figure, because all your other figures, you'd always want to have them swinging from a web. This one also comes with a really cool bowed leg. That's, Yeah, I guess I could heat that up, or I could just put it on a stand. Probably just put it on a stand. Here he is, has a hole in his back. I mean, it's a figure you already have repainted into a figure that you already have. Let's go ahead and check out this Mysterio. Alright, so here's the Mysterio with the green head, which I thought was pretty cool until I saw the one with the white head, and that thing, like, this thing definitely needs a little bit more color. It's like they spoil you with this amazing sculpt, and then for some reason they run out of money and they can't hook up the paint whatsoever. Went ahead and put some effects on it. Went ahead and did the green flame on that one. Definitely makes him stand out a little bit more. I think he deserves it. He's Mysterio. He's really cool. Then I went ahead and went with the clear one on this to try to match the clear head on it. We're going to go ahead and pop off both of these capes where you can see the heads without the little bubble on there. Basically, they're the same exact head. One's kind of like a white clear, and the other one's kind of like a green clear. I know this one's hard to get. I'm glad that I got it. It sucks that they hustle you and get you like this. Now they did it with the Psylocke with the purple hair and the black hair, and I want the purple hair, but I'm sure I'm going to find the black hair one first, and I won't be able to resist temptation, and I'll buy it, then I'll have to buy it again. But here they are together, in case you're trying to figure out which one to get. They're both, for me, fairly hard to find. I doubt you'll find this one unless you go on eBay. You'll probably see this one eventually in the stores. Just go ahead and get this one. It'll be cheaper, and it actually looks cool. Let's put them all up here for some final thoughts. All right, so here they are all together. Final thoughts on this wave. I'm definitely digging it. Should I like it as much as I do? Probably not. I love the Spider, the Doc Ock, best one that I own. Cloak and Dagger, I already have one, but I'm definitely feeling these for some reason. I'm really appreciating the black suit Daredevil, best Elektra that I have. The Spider-Man House of M, kind of pointless to me, but I guess I'm glad that I have an updated version. And then the Scarlet Spider, which after looking at the old one, I guess I kind of really did need the new one. I mean, I'm all about new characters. That's not going to happen all the time. We basically got 1, 2, 3 new characters, a bunch of reused parts, a few little new parts. It works good enough for me. I like the wave. Probably should go ahead and pick it up. I mean, do we really have a choice at this matter? They kind of got us hooked. If you're still here, thanks for watching.